Welcome to Zen in 10. This is Jessica for your peaceful pause in your busy world. Now, this might turn into a Zen in 15-ish, but bear with me. You don't need any props today. Your yoga mat, or you could do this on the carpeting or somewhere that feels cozy enough for your knees and your hands when you're on your hands and knees. Otherwise, just follow along, do the best that you absolutely can. And if anything ever feels painful or very uncomfortable, you can always come into child's pose. Child's pose, you'll stack onto your knees and your hands, hips over knees, shoulders over your wrists. Widen your knees, bring those big toes together, sink back, and extend your hands forward. So this can always feel really great if there's a pose I'm doing and it just isn't for you today. Simply come right here and rest your forehead on the mat. And then you can dive back in when we're doing something that's calling to you. Let's begin. Today we'll start an easy seat. You can crisscross your legs, however feels good. Start sitting up really tall, big straight spines. Inhale, reaching up for the sky. Big stretch at the top. Exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, hands lift. One more, starting to bring your breath into awareness, slowing the mind, connecting to your body. Beautiful. We're going to take some time to stretch and loosen up. Bring your right leg out to the right. Square your hips off to meet that foot and fold over. Maybe you reach your calf. Maybe you stretch into the ankle, or maybe your hands extend and you reach fully into your toes. Everyone is going to be at different points depending on your flexibility this morning. And we'll just rest here a moment. Often we fire through all of our warm-ups and we don't spend enough time, but it takes time for your muscles to lengthen and extend. Holding these postures a little bit longer can help your body to feel even better throughout the duration of your practice. You can always pause the video if you want to spend more time in any posture, or save and come back to it. Do it a few times before you get used to the rounds, and then you can do it on your own and practice as long posture holds as you would like. We'll start to walk our hands up that leg, sending our other leg out, bringing this foot in to meet the thigh. Square your hips off to that other side and begin to fold. And it's quite common that one side will be tighter than the other. This is my tighter side, so it's a little bit harder for me to extend and reach those toes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang here for a minute, maybe take some gentle movements, little tiny movements from side to side, kind of leaning forward a little bit deeper and back, just to help loosen everything up wherever it feels tight or sticky. And then I can begin to reach for those toes, easing into the posture. And typically I would spend a little more time here, but because we are keeping this to a peaceful pause, I will move on. But again, take your time, come back to this as many times as feels comfortable to you. We're going to come into butterfly pose next, bringing our feet together, letting our knees fall to the sides, let gravity hug you into your mat, and you can begin to lean forward if it's available to you here. So this is where you can start to stretch really deep into that inner thigh. You can take a little movement here. Maybe you gently sway into little half moons, side to side. Maybe you're up a little straighter because you don't have that flexibility yet to lean forward. But you can maybe flap those butterfly wings a little, loosening up the legs, loosening up any tension. And sometimes if you're going to be here for a little bit in more of a yin posture or a deeper hold, you could even put a little sandbag here if you have one available, or something like a pillow, but something a little bit more heavy on either side to help weigh it down as well to get that deeper stretch. I'm just going to fold forward a little longer. And then we'll begin to walk our hands up, starting to stack into tabletop pose. That pose I showed you to get into child's pose. So we're gonna go up to our hands and knees, hips directly above your knees, your shoulders above your ankles, and straight spines here. Good way to find where your neutral or your straight spine is to do a round of cat-cows and slowly make those cat-cows smaller and smaller until there's no more room left in your spine to wiggle, and that is where your neutral spine is. So let's exhale into our cat, arching the back, tucking our tailbone, tucking our chin to our chest. Inhale into your cow pose. We curve. Well, I guess the other one's more of a curve. This is more of an arch up the back. Gaze up to the sky. Tilt to your tailbone. Active arms here. And exhale into your cat. Inhale into your cat. And then you begin to make these smaller. Exhaling into your cat, but you don't curve the spine as much. Inhale into your cow, same thing. As you come into your cow, maybe you just don't tip up to the sky nearly as much. Exhaling a little tiny cat. Inhale, little tiny cow, little moo. And we just go back and forth until maybe it doesn't even look like I'm moving too much, but when you're doing it, you'll feel there's still a little space in between your cat and in between your cow. Keep going with your breath and your movement until there's no more room to move, and I know my spine is completely neutral. From neutral spine, we're going to take a bird dog here. So we're going to extend our right leg back, our left arm forward. Now this can be challenging enough depending on where you are. This focuses on your balance, your core, or you can take it a step further and begin to crunch your elbow to your knee. Exhale here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch elbow and knee together. Inhale, lengthen. One more time, if you're doing these with me, go ahead and crunch. And inhale, sweep your hand forward, your leg back. And then meet in tabletop position again. Setting up for the other side, maybe take a little mini cat-cow. Kind of starting to find your way back into your neutral spine. And we'll set up for the other side. Left leg reaches back. Right arm reaches forward. And balancing here. You can stay here, or if you joined me last time in our crunch, we'll go ahead and set up for that again. And elbow to knee. And reach. Always with breath. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. One more. Exhale, crunch. And inhale, reach. And go ahead and be bringing your hand and your leg back into your tabletop pose. Setting up to thread the needle here. You're going to stay in this tabletop formation. Hips stay lifted. We're going to begin to inhale, reaching our right hand up to the sky. Exhale, sweeping that hand in between your knee and your opposite hand. We're going to begin to rest our shoulder and our head onto the mat on that exhale. Couple breaths here. And on your next inhale, you lift that hand back up to the sky and exhale, lower it down to your mat. Let's set up to do that on the other side. Left hand, inhale, lift. And exhale, sweep and lower. Resting again gently on the mat. Heads should not be lifted up, straining the neck. Let your neck rest. And breathe here for a couple rounds. And on your next inhale, we rise and reach that hand up. And exhale, we lower it back down, back into our tabletop pose. Let's come into one of those child's poses together, widening our knees, bringing those big toes together, sinking back and reaching forward. Let your forehead come to the mat and rest. It can feel good here to rock your forehead from left to right, gently massaging out your third eye center. And we'll begin to come back up onto our hands and knees, coming into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes and we'll extend those hips up and back and begin to set up in our down dog, taking any movements we need here to get comfortable. Maybe you walk your dog, you lift and lower one heel at a time, pedaling out the feet. Maybe you sink back deep into your heels, bending those knees and then lengthening. Whatever you need today before we step one foot up to meet our hands, bend the next, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower all the way down to your mat and rise tall, inhaling at the top. And exhale, prayer hands to heart center, just like we began when we were seated. And we're going to take that sun salutation 2 more times as we lower down to reach our mat. Exhale. Inhale, step 1 foot back, and then the other. Exhale, chaturanga. Now you can come onto your knees and lower here, or you can stay up onto your high plank and bring those elbows in and lower gently onto your mat. Inhale, cobra, hands to chest, mini back bend here, mini lift, or inhale, full extension of the arms. Inhale, upward facing dog. You can choose your own adventure here in your chaturangas, and then we all meet in downward facing dog. So you would tuck your toes, drive those hips up and back, and walk your feet. And here you are again in your downward dog. Now today's practice is just going to be those sun salutations, and then we'll make our way down into Shavasana. So you can go ahead and repeat after me 2 more times. This time we lift the left leg as we walk it towards our hands. Then right foot, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, root to rise, high mountain, reach for the sky. Exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Fold forward, exhale again. And then bring opposite foot back. Left foot meets right, high plank, and chaturanga. Right foot lifts forward to the hand, inhale. Next foot reaches. Exhale, lower down, inhale, half lift. Exhale, root to rise. And exhale, lower the hands, the prayer hands at heart center. Inhale again. Exhale. Begin to melt down towards the toes, hands plant. Right foot steps back, left foot meets right, and high plank and chaturanga. And downward facing dog. From downward facing dog here, to get into our Shavasana more gracefully, let's take a down dog roll. So we're going to come up onto our toes, roll our knees down, and coming into bear pose, knees are covered here. Hold for a breath and gently lower. Let's take puppy dog pose for one last little stretch in the back. Hips stay lifted, arms come forward, forehead rests. And then sink back onto your heels, sitting up tall, thunderbolt pose. Legs are together. Seat is on the heels of the feet. Breathe here. This would be a good option then to come into camel for a minute if you wanted to, or we are going to swing our legs around. Hug your knees to your chest. A little congested today. I don't know what's up with that. Definitely need to do my sugar detox that's coming up. And we'll go ahead and gently take some hip circles on our mat. Just rotating your hips one direction. This is a really nice lower back massage. It feels great on the spine. And then go ahead and take those circles in the opposite direction. And lastly, we lengthen our legs. Option for a big full body stretch, bringing your hands up overhead. Big stretch all the way from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers. And begin to find stillness. You can rest with your arms out to the side, your legs out to the side, or maybe you rest with one hand on the belly, the other on the heart, whatever feels comfortable to you. So you close your eyes gently and do a little body scan. Unclench your jaw. Soften the muscles in your face. Let your shoulders sink heavy into your mat. Begin to soften the stomach muscles. No tension here. Let it melt away. Hips get heavier. Fall deeper into the mat. All the way into the legs, into the feet as they fall open and rest. With each inhale, you feel more peace. With each exhale, you let go of anything that no longer serves you. If this is the remainder of your practice today, and you have time, please stay here in Shavasana longer. Hold and rest in stillness. Maybe meditate for a few minutes today. Or if you're coming out of Shavasana now, you can go ahead and bring some gentle movements back into the fingers, into the toes. I like to rock and roll up towards seated, so you can bring your knees towards your chest and gently rock the body forward and back. Coming up into easy seats. To end where we began, thank you all for joining me. Save this, practice it a few times, and like I said, hold poses longer. Feel free to pause, hold in a pose for all you want, and then come back. Thank you all, and I cannot wait to see you again. Inhale, arms lift together. Exhale, prayer hands to heart center. The light in me sees and honors the light within each and every one of you. Namaste.